I'll give you a brief about the modules, right? And then Lokesh will take you through the entire feature by feature, all of the functionalities that you can do in the product. So the very first module that we'll be talking about is the property module. So since understanding more about the property and having complete transparent information about the details and the features of the property is very critical for sales, right? So that's the very first module wherein we will talk about how can we view and edit the details of the property, what all different types of details we can view in the product. And second would be the inventory, which is basically your units, which are the beds. So how can you check the correct statuses of the bed, how can you filter them and make your sales process very, very seamless and easy to do, right? So let's start with that.
Okay. So as you can see, like this is a dashboard that we have. So in the second tab, there is a properties. So where actually you can view all the properties that are actually listed on the crib. So I'll start with the first one. So in the first one, as you can see, like there are few things on the particular page. So there is something called collection where you can view all the collection, and there's a filter on the top of that for this particular collection card. So you can also change that particular filter if you want to see the collection of this month or the previous month. So there are a few filters as well. And in the bottom where there are a few more details, like you can add inventory from this particular card as well, like if there is a new property, if you want to add inventory, and what are the recent updates related to sales, related to complaints. Is there any, like there are multiple things in the request by tenants. So basically, is there any move-in request from any of the tenants, or is there any move-out request? So we are showing all the requests here. Let's basically move-out request is the offboarding request that we have in a system. Whenever some tenant raise a notice or you are raising a notice for any of the tenants, so that request will fall under here. So all the requests will come into this part, and after that we have few more things like under manage card. So if you want to manage your staff, and after that, like I'll show you the details of the property as well. So once I click on the bottom CTA, this is the detail that we have right now. So on the top, if you want to upload any photos for your property, we have a CTA for that, like upload photos, and then you can add photos for this particular property here. And in the bottom, you can see like there are multiple room types available. So single, double, triple, and 3+.
This particular option, right, which is the room type, this is the main, I think the most critical part in order to have the correct data of different and the rentals of different types of rooms. So just you can just always make sure that all of the options, like you have a double sharing room with attached balcony that has a different rent, another type of room with an attached washroom could have a different rent. So it becomes very difficult to remember all of these details by heart, right, in each of your properties, since you have multiple units to take care of. So using this option, you can just go to a single sharing and check what are the options, what are the rents. You can go to a double sharing and also check the options and rents, so that your data, whatever you're communicating to the customer, is completely accurate and there's no to and fro later on.
So after that, we have the services as well, like services, property features, and furnishings. So if I just open services, it will show you a list of what all services are included in your properties. So like the first section that we have is services included in your rent. So it might be possible like Wi-Fi is included in the rent, or laundry, or housekeeping, and multiple more. And what are the property features that you have available right now in a particular property? So guard, biometric enabled, CCTV, lift, parking, and all. And if there is any furnishings in the room, that you can also select. So bed are provided with mattresses, wall mirror is there, cupboard is there or not. So you can select these kind of what I can select the property features in this particular flow. And what are the furnishings in property available? So there are two different sections, like furnishings in room and furnishings in property. So if there is a common fridge, if there is a washing machine or a microwave or a water purifier at a property level, you can select all those kind of services. So these are the few more things. And like if there are any prime features you want to add for your property, so all the details will actually reflect on the tenant app as well. Like whatever the features that you are selecting right now here, it will be visible there. Right. And after that, we have few house rules as well. So if you want to select these house rules, like is smoking allowed, is drinking allowed, are visitors allowed or not, so you can select whatever the house rules are applicable to each of your properties. So these are the few things that help you actually pick whatever the property features that you are having on a single property. So I can select those features and it will reflect here. Like if I have added furnishings for a particular room, then it will show a list of all those features that I have selected on the last screen. And whatever the house rules that I have selected will be visible here. And after that, there are two more things. So like when you have onboarded this particular property, we actually asked for collection, like what will be the rental collection for this particular property, like what will be the rental cycle, what will be the grace period, and is there any fine charge if the grace period has passed away, or like if the charges are overdue. So are you collecting any kind of fine or not on the top of that? And if you are collecting a fine, then what will be the fine amount for that? And after that, we are also asking like if there are any other charges that you also collect during any onboarding of a tenant. So it might be maintenance, it might be one-time charge, it might be onboarding charges. So it's actually a flexible thing from your end. You can select any of the charges that is available in our system. So right now in this particular property, we have selected maintenance. So that's what is showing maintenance here. Okay, and after that we have another thing like what are the terms of agreement for this particular property. So what is the security deposit are you collecting? So it might be single month security deposit, might be double month security deposit that you can select. What is the agreement duration of those tenants who are living in this particular property? It might be like in your case maybe if it's a student housing, tenants are coming for 11 months or 12 months, so you can select on a property level. So whenever you are adding all those tenants, a by default value will be selected for all the tenants. You don't have to select multiple times if there is a single constant agreement duration from your end. And for like there are two more things like the locking period and notice period. So this is actually essential whenever you are raising a notice or tenants are raising a notice from their end. So they can select what's the lock-in period for this particular property and what is the notice period for this particular property. So these are all the property details that we have in the property page. So if
Yes, so the utility of this particular section, right, is that whenever maybe somebody new in your sales team is coming up, so you don't have to manually give them training of each and every property and tell them, okay, what are my terms, what are my features, and what are the specialities of that property. If you keep this page updated, you can easily edit it also. If you keep it updated, everybody in the team, neither you have to do manual training, nor do they have to remember everything in their mind, right? Whenever a new customer is coming up, they can just quickly open this page and just read out all of the features to the customers that, okay, this is available, and this is the rent of the different type of rooms that we have. Okay, so moving on to basically the second module, which is the tenant management, right? So tenant management ke andar the whole journey of, okay, how do we add a tenant? Now tenant could be of different types, adding an existing tenant that may be missed before, then adding a new tenant, which is mostly relevant for the sales team, that, okay, how do I add a new tenant? If the token is pending, where does the tenant show? If the token is paid, then where does the tenant show, right? So that's what we will talk about. First, adding a new tenant, a token pending, a token paid, and then we'll talk about details and documentation, because we've recently created this feature wherein you can verify the eKYC of the tenant, you can create digital rent agreement, you can also do the police verification for each of your tenants. So that we will talk about next.
like I'll give a brief about the inventory, how the things are working in this inventory, then I'll jump on how tenants can be added. Okay. So as you can see, like there are multiple rooms in this, like there are multiple floors. Within those multiple floors, we have multiple rooms, and within those rooms, like we have few boxes. You can see green and white. So these are beds actually, and there are few colors on the beds as well, like which actually denote some kind of status of each bed. So I'll just go one by one what are, like what all those things are. So first of all, like as you can see, like there is a legend on the top right side, like the bed icon is there just next to the filter icon, or you can say next to the edit icon. So if I click on that particular icon, you can see in the bottom, like the white one actually denotes the vacant one, the green one is the occupied one, which means like the tenant is staying on this particular bed right now. The booked one is something like there is a future booking who actually paid the token amount, and the joining date is yet to come, so they have already booked the bed. And the red one is the one like in which the tenant is going to leave the property soon, like the notice, or you can say the agreement is ending soon in this particular scenario. So you can like filter out these tenants as well and can extend their agreement duration, or if you want to give a notice or raise a notice for these tenants, it will be help you like if it will be help to track you down all those kinds of beds. Okay, and like first of all, going in detail about all these beds, like if you want to edit your inventories as well, we have functionality for that. Like it might possibly if you want to change the nomenclature of your rooms. So right now, like there is a ground floor, and on the ground floor there are 101A, 101B, and if you want to change the nomenclature according to your need, you can click on those particular boxes. So once I click on that particular box, you can see like there are few actions on this on the top of that. So if you want to edit the room number, we have this functionality as well. And if you want to edit the beds in this particular room, it might be possible like there. Right now it's a double sharing room, and if you want to make it a private room because a tenant wants to occupy or capture a complete entire room, so you can edit a bed and can make this room a single sharing. So I can select the room type and can select any of the options available within this particular list. And if you want to add more room options as per your convenience, then we have this functionality of adding a room type as well. So just in front of select room type, there is a CTA in blue color, add room type, in which you can add a sharing type. Like if you want to add a sharing type, so it's a single sharing or double sharing, then you can add the rent for that. And what are the basically features of this particular room, like the sharing type. So just assume I have a sharing type of like two. Okay, double sharing room option it is. The rent will be, I'm assuming here it's 25,000. Okay, and what are the room features that are available for this particular room? I'm just adding. So it will be added in the double part. So as you can see, like the option 6 has created of rent 25,000, and these are the options. These are the like features that are available in this particular option. So like this, you can create more room options according to your need, and also can change the sharing type of any of the rooms. And it might be possible you want to deactivate the room, so we have this functionality as well, like under, like if the rooms are under maintenance and you want to deactivate all those rooms, so you can click on the deactivate room and can add a reason for that. So like how a room will be deactivated, and it can be activated again by clicking this activate button again. So it will be like a simple action for you as well. And for changing the room number, we have a functionality of editing the room number. So in the blue color, as you can see in the right section of this sheet, if I click on that particular CTA, here is an input field where I can change the room number according to your need. So I'm just keeping like 001 for now. So it will reflect in the inventory as well, like the room number has been changed. So that's how like I can change the sharing type of each room. The nomenclature I can also change, and I can deactivate the room if I want to. Okay, so these are the few things under that part. Now another thing, like if you want to change your inventory in bulk, like that was a single action, like I was performing for 001, but like assume you have 5 rooms and all are 4 sharing, and you want to convert those rooms into double sharing. So there can be a bulk action for that as well. So what I did here is like I have clicked the edit icon on the top navigation. So once I click that particular, it will show me the complete inventory here. So I can select multiple rooms from this particular screen. So right now I'm selecting like 001, 101B and 101C. And I want to make these rooms as a private single sharing rooms. So what I'll do next, like I'll click on edit beds. And once I click on edit beds, it will show me the list of room types. So I'm just going to make all the rooms in a single sharing type. So once I click on select, and then I just confirm it, so all the rooms will be converted to single sharing type. So that's how you can actually convert your inventory if you want to, like according to your needs. And if you just go back, it will show you the latest inventory here, like according to whatever the change that you have done, it will reflect here. So that's how like the inventory edit part actually works. So on the top, like there are a few more filters. Like you can see there is a scrollable row on the top. So there are 3 options in that. So the first one is I'll start with this. Like you can see there is a icon on the red bed, and there is an icon on green bed as well. So this icon is actually dependable on this particular filter. So right now the filter is selected as pending dues. So what it does basically, like whosoever tenants are living on this particular beds, if there are any pending dues for those tenants, we are going to show in the inventories. Like these are the beds from whom the rent is not received yet. So if I click on this particular red bed in which the icon is there, you can see like there are pending dues of 84,000 for this particular tenant. So you can actually check this, like check from your inventory level as well, like how many tenants are there for whom the you can say like the dues are still pending. Okay, and there are a few more functionalities for this particular icon related thing. So this can be actually handled from the top navigation. You can see like once I click on this pending due wala chip, like the purple chip is there on the top. So there are more functionalities related to this icon. If you want to check like how many tenants are there who raise their offboarding or move out request, okay, so you can click on that particular offboarding in this bottom sheet, and once I click on show results, it will actually, like right now there are no tenants as of now. Like, there is one tenant actually, 101B, who raised their offboarding or move out request. So once I click on that particular bed, it will show you like what's the move out date for this particular tenant, and you can view their move out request. Like this is the request, offboarding request that they have created or you have created, and you can show, like we are showing the status of this request as well. And then you can tap and can like perform the further actions for move out. So it will help you out in like basically it's a kind of filtering itself. Like you can filter the tenants according to their dues, you can filter the tenants according to their offboarding request. Or is there any more, like there is one more filter called move in. So basically what move in shows, like if any of the room is occupied right now, and you took a booking on the top of that in the next month. Okay, so right now it will show you like there is a tenant living on a PG right now, but there is a future booking which is actually going to come on that particular bed. I think there is no particular tenant here,
We'll
but I
add it and then see it. Huh?
yeah, I will show you an example here how it will work. So I'll start with that example only. Before that, there's one more thing. Like if you want to see, like right now we are showing inventory as of today, like today is September 12th. So this is the status of inventory for today. But if you want to see like what's this inventory status in the next month, like how my inventory is gonna look like if you want to take a booking in October or in November, then how the inventory is actually gonna look like if the bed is occupied, if the bed is vacant. So you can go on that particular date and can check the inventory. So right now I'm selecting like 20th of November, and it will give me a status according to 20th of November. Like this is the status as of 20th November. You can track the status of each bed and can make a decision like if you want to add a tenant on which bed. So that's how the inventory tracking is works. And another thing that we have is like you can filter your inventory as per the statuses of these bed. So as I've like already shown you, there are 4 statuses of bed. So if I click on that particular vacant, occupied, wala purple color ka chip, there are multiple status you can see here, like vacant, occupied, booked, and ending. And if you just want to see the vacant one only, so if I just select the vacant one and show result, it will give you the results of all the vacant beds available in your PG. And if the beds are not available vacant, then the room will show empty like the 101B. So that's how you can filter it out your inventory according to your needs. So if I go with like on the top navigation bar, there is one more filter on the top right side just next to the bed icon. So if I click on that particular filter icon, you can actually filter it out according to your sharing type. You want to see how many rooms are there in double sharing, you want to see how many rooms are there in triple sharing, you can filter out those rooms. You want to see like which all rooms are there right now who are actually occupied by some kind of boys or a girl, so it can be gender based filter as well. And if you want to see what are all the rooms having some kind of specific features, like what all rooms are there in which the balcony is attached or the washroom is attached or the AC is there or geyser is there, so you can filter out those rooms as well according to any of the bookings or that you are getting from any of the tenants. So you can customize or you can get the exact result with the by applying all those filters. So if I just click here, I think there are no rooms for this particular specific filter. Maybe I'll just remove this thing. I'll just click triple. So as you can see, I have selected single and triple. So you can see like these are all the rooms which are having single sharing and triple sharing beds. So that's how you can actually filter out your inventory.
So the concept behind this inventory is that whenever we have a lead, right, who makes certain inquiries, so customers have their unique demands, and we can't spend too much time gathering that information or finding out their perfect fit within our inventory, right? With bigger properties, multiple rooms and multiple properties, it becomes very difficult to see if a customer comes and tells me that okay, from 1st of December I want a double sharing room wherein my roommate is a boy, right? And it should be an attached balcony. So within like the 2 to 3 seconds or maximum 5 seconds, you can quickly apply these filters within this inventory in crib, and you can check okay, what are the top 3 rooms I have available with these requirements. We can walk through 2-3 types of adding tenant location. One wherein we take a booking, future booking on a occupied, on a this red bed also we can try, on a white bed also we can try.
Yeah. Okay. So like first I'll start with the vacant bed. Like I'll show you like how that white bed gonna turn into a yellow bed. So if I click on this particular bed and click on add tenant, so this is a 3-step form. I'll just add my name and just add a phone number, add gender and occupation. So in the second step, like you can select your rental type. So like but right now I'm going with the monthly flow right now. So I can select the agreement start date. So like I'm selecting the next month agreement start date, just assuming tenant is coming on October of 10. And after that, these are the few more details like what gonna be a rental cycle and what is the agreement duration, what is lock-in period. So these all are selecting as per your property selection. So you can change those things as well. And after that, the third step will be like this is your account summary, like the security deposit that you have allocated and the maintenance charge and the amount that we have pre-calculated on the pro rata basis, like the amount from 10th to 31st of October. Okay, because the tenant is actually joining on 10th of October, so we are calculating till 10th to 31st, and from the next month, like the November month, our due ticket is going to be generated from November 1st to November 30th. Okay, so on the pro rata basis, we're calculating the number of remaining days rent in the summary part. And the next thing that we have is like, has tenant paid any token amount or not? So right now I'm just assuming like the tenant has paid like 5,000 as a token amount. So if I click on yes, like the tenant has paid the token amount, and I enter that particular token amount. And after that, you can see the payment summary as well, like what was the total due, the paid amount, and what is the pending amount. So once I add this particular tenant, a notification is going to be triggered from our end to that particular tenant for download this particular app. And once they downloaded the app, they can see their pending dues in the application as well. So if I click on this add tenant, I'll just land back to that particular inventory page. And now you can see that particular white badge turn into a yellow badge. So that shows that is a kind, this bed is under a booking stage. A tenant is going to join like in a future date. So if I click on that particular bed, you can see here like there is a tenant named Lokesh. The agreement start date is October of 10th, and there are 17,000 pending dues right now for this particular tenant. So you can see this is a particular tenant like which is gonna join in the next month.
You can still add a tenant to this bed for current date, right?
Yeah.
Since the booking you have taken for 10th, but you can still add a tenant because today bed is vacant. It is booked for a future date. So we can just click on it and we can add another tenant on this bed. There is an option.
Okay, so I'll just add another tenant on this bed itself. So what I'll do, I'll just add another. I'm just adding this tenant for like a short agreement duration. So what I'll do, I'll just go with another stay type here.
Short.
And I'm just adding a daily rent of 1,000 rupees, security deposit 0, maintenance 0. Agreement start, I'm selecting like the next day, 13, or maybe today I can select. And the number of days that he's gonna stay for, I'm just assuming 10 days. Okay. And just asking the same question again, like the has tenant paid any token amount or not. So I'm just clicking yes, the token has been paid. So I'll just add that thing. And you can see like this particular bad turn into a red bad because the agreement duration is ending soon. If I click on that particular bed, you can see like the agreement end date is September of 21st, and the bed is under the ending stage, like the agreement is gonna end soon, and this is 6,800 is the pending due. But now if you want to see like on the top of this bed there is another booking or not, so what you can do, like on the top we have this chip pending due wala. If I click on that and select the option of move in and click on show result, you can see like there is a inward icon on the top of this particular red bed. So it will show me like who is the tenant who is staying right now on this PG. Like Lokesh is staying right now, and there is another Lokesh who gonna come on this particular bed on October of 10th. So you'll get both the details in a single screen. Like आज कौन रह रहा है and future में कौन आने वाला है इस bed पे. So we have both the information right now here.
And you can still add a tenant. So still there is a button of add tenant again, because we added a tenant for 10 days. There's more time left. So we can still add another tenant.
Right.
Let's say we can change the date to 1st of October. We'll see that the bed is.
So in case of token pending, so I'll show you like where you can actually find out all those tenants, because when the token is pending, the tenant is not active in our system. So where you can actually check all those tenants once the token is pending.
Yeah,
So
because
I'll
it's
just
a
another
booking.
tenant.
It's a pending booking. It's not confirmed. So we show it somewhere else.
So in that scenarios, we are not directly linking all those tenants. So once the token is received from their end, those tenants will directly link to the beds. So I'll show you what's gonna be the journey for these kind of tenants where the token is pending. I'll just select the agreement date. Okay, I'll just select any of the future date. Assume it's October 19th. Okay, and so as you can see here, there is one more use case here. Like the bed is already booked by some other tenant, so it's restrict you to book the particular, like book this bed for this particular tenant because it's already booked in the last flow that I have already show you. So I have to select another date in which the bed is actually vacant, I can say. So maybe I'll just go into more future, maybe May of 31st. Let me check. Yeah. So what happened, like if I click on the no section here, like has tenant paid any token amount? So if I click on no and I just want to collect the token from this particular application right now, I'll just add the amount that I want to collect token to be paid from the tenant. So I'll just add like 5,000 I want to collect as a token amount. So what's gonna happen if I just continue after this step, there will be a request generated from our end to the tenant, and tenant will get a notification that they have to pay this token first. Once they pay this 5,000, they will be entering into the app. Then they can actually pay their remaining dues. Okay, so once I add this particular tenant, so as you can see, like I'm adding this tenant on 101C, okay, and on the bed number 1. Okay, so if I add this tenant, the tenant is added successfully, but you cannot see these tenant on the beds. Like I'll change the date, the start date that I selected, the agreement start date was something around May. So I'll select the May and the date. So as you can see, like the bed is actually vacant because this tenant is not linked until and unless the token is paid. So the next question arises from your end, like where can I find this particular tenant? Where did it went? So if you want to see all those kinds of tenants who are not linked to this inventory, but you have sending an invitation and the token is not paid from their end, what you can do, like in the manage section, you can see there is a second option called tenants. Once I click on these tenants, there are three filters. There are three options, like the active tenants, whosoever are like staying in your property or paid their token amount. Okay, then active who are offboarded right now, and the third one is invited. So all the tenants who haven't paid their token amount are fall under this invited section. So these are all the tenants who haven't paid their token amount right now.
We added Rajat.
Yeah, we added Rajat. Let me see, where is Rajat? Yeah, here it is. So you can see like the Rajat is here. The agreement start date was May 31st as per my selection. And you can see like whatsoever the token amount that you have selected, like token to be paid is 1 rupees. If you want to cancel the request and want to re-raise the request again, you can cancel this request for tenant and can add the particular tenant on the same bed. The same flow will gonna work.
And even after you have raised a booking, it's basically a booking request, right, that you have raised for the tenant. You can still go back and edit some terms in case tenant requests for it, right? So you can simply just edit the terms and save them. Once the tenant has paid the token, then they will become active. So the journey for a tenant is basically they are first invited because the token is pending. Once it is paid, they become active, but with a yellow bed, since if the move-in is in a future date. Once the move-in is done, then they become green. Once the move-out is near, then they become red. Then they go, then it becomes white, right? So moves from invited to active, yellow bed, green bed, red bed, and then ultimately the white bed. If let's say you have taken some bookings in this month and you missed to add those tenants in crib app, you can select whatever date, any past date also. Okay, this tenant was moved in 2 months ago or 15 days ago, and you can just simply add them. They'll directly come to the green bed because they're already living in the property.
Yeah, so you can select any of the past date in this calendar option. Like I'm selecting August of 18th. The like this remaining things are same only. I can select like is there any dues or pending amount, or I can select like if there are no dues, I can select that option. If there are any pending dues from this particular tenant, I can select that option as well. So according to your need, you can like select the three options are available right now.
Details and documents. So the first step is basically the setup, wherein we can just set up all of the details from the settings, and I think mostly all of these are already set up for you. We can set up the KYC verification. You can switch on Aadhaar OTP verification, police verification. For the rent agreement bit, you can actually view the agreement template also that we have, right? So there is a view template option wherein you can view the template that is there. All of the variables, all of the details will be picked from the details that you have entered while you are adding that tenant. So, and then there is also house rules. So we have another option. If you still want to add some more rules to the agreement, you can definitely upload a PDF which will get attached to the rent agreement. So this is the setup bit, which is mostly already done for you. Then next we will see where the tenant receives a message like this, that you have been invited to join this property, and then there's a link to join the app. The first thing they do is they put in the personal details. Then this is the flow that is visible to the tenant. First is the KYC, then there is add basic information, then accept house rules, and then sign the rent agreement, right? So the very first thing they'll do is they'll upload the Aadhaar card. The system will automatically fetch the Aadhaar number, and then there is a send OTP option where using which they can just put the OTP and we verify that it is a valid Aadhaar card or not. Right? That's the first step. Second is these details. So you will see most of the details which are linked to the Aadhaar card will get automatically populated here, but some other details like their professional details, their college, their parents' details, all of that they can manually also add it here. Guardian details, local guardian. Then will be the house rules. So whatever house rules PDF you upload from your end, that's the same PDF that will be visible here. You can add whatever house rules or maybe separate terms that you want to add here. They can just accept it. and then they move to the rental agreement. So the rental agreement will be created instantly for them with all of their details, the terms of agreement that you have mentioned in the app while you were adding that tenant. All of that will be visible here, and then the tenant can just simply sign it, and the sign will get attached to the agreement. Right, where will it be visible to you? That's also, we can see it here. So whenever you click on a bed and you see the details, you will see this green bar here saying move-in checklist is done, right? And then you click on the documents and you can find all of the details. You can find their Aadhaar card, their photographs, their rental agreement, which is the signed copy of the rental agreement, and the accepted copy of the house rules. You will also see a tick of verified here. So once the tenant has verified the Aadhaar via the OTP flow, it will show verified. If maybe you have added the Aadhaar from your end, then it's not verified because the team could maybe add wrong photographs. So this tag will not be here. This tag means it has been verified by the government portal.
So as you can see, like we have a section called sales under this updates wala card. So once I click on that sales of card, there are a few things. Like the first one is the inquiries. Like, so whatsoever the inquiries are coming from the tenant end, that will fall under that. The second section is whatsoever the booking requests are coming from the tenants. So all the booking requests will fall under the second section.
Yeah, it's pretty simple actually. I mean, we don't want to get into detail here. Just like you will first receive an inquiry, right? You will get an WhatsApp message as well that an inquiry has been received. We can go back and look where the inquiries fall. And the tenant actually, they cannot call you directly. So you have to make a call from here. Only then they can contact you, right? So all of your inquiries will fall here. You can call them and connect with them. Once it is confirmed, then you can also raise a booking from your end in a simple add tenant flow, and the tenant can also raise a booking from the tenant app, right? So both the flows are already available in the app, so you can just check that out. And also in terms of the commission, right, I mean that you guys had added. So again, if you feel that my properties are already occupied and I don't want to pay that much commission, so that's okay. I mean, we have enabled that option, and then you can put it 0 as well, right? So it's completely up to you. This commission we we give it to the person as a discount, and also to somebody who has referred them. But if you don't want to spend that money, you can put it as 0 also, if you're confident that you will still receive any inquiries.